Okay, so today we're going to be talking about marriage and divorce. And I think this is a very sensitive and very prevalent and common in our society. And some people seem to enjoy, this topic, hearing about it and talking about it and acting on it and stuff like that. So marriage, to me, is a beautiful thing. Marriage. I'm not saying wedding. Marriage is a beautiful thing. The problem is the people in the marriage are stupid and ignorant. And because they are stupid and ignorant, I advise people it's better for you to be single and frustrated than to be married and miserable. It's better for you to be single and get frustrated with life, than to be married and be miserable, because a lot of people are miserable when they're married. I'm telling you, even the things you see on social media, they are just a facade. It's like a smoke screen. It's not real. When you delve into how they live their life. So today we have many things that causes divorce, the things that we know and the things that we don't know. Some are spiritual, some are physical, some are emotional, some are from all angles. So many things cause divorce. But we are here to talk about the major issues, or what we think are the major issues or the major causes of divorce. So, Josie, I want to start with you. What do you think? Because I know we have different opinions. What do you think is the major cause or major causes of divorce?
So before I get to that, I'd like to share some interesting stats about divorce in the US. So first off, the US leads in the world as far as the number of divorces. So 41% of first marriages end in divorce. 60% of second marriages end in divorce. Mm-hmm. And 73% of third marriages end in divorce.
Okay.
Right? So it increases. But what I think are the major causes, I would say number one, communication. Cheating, probably number one. Cheating, lack of communication, and financial, reasons. And within communication, so have you ever heard of like the Gottman theory?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So it's the concept, it's the four horsemen. The concept that there's four major reasons in communication, or the lack thereof, that can lead to the demise of a relationship. And the first one is criticism. The second one is defensiveness, contempt, and stonewalling. And we don't realize how easy it is for any one of us here to fall into one word, many or all of those categories, right? Me personally, if I could speak for myself, there was a time when I was less mature, I was notorious for stonewalling. I had a lot of challenges with communication. If we're having a communication issue in the relationship, we're having a disagreement or whatever, and I feel that you're being too critical, or I feel like you're too aggressive, I would immediately just shut down. I have nothing else to say, and God couldn't pull it out of me, right? So I think one of the things that we can do is just self-reflect and pay attention to our individual weaknesses in relationships. What is it that I need to work on? Because like I said, this can apply to any one of us. And I think if we want to be honest with ourselves, there's one time or another in life we can identify and say that was a weakness. Yeah. I either chose to address it head on and improve and prioritize self-evolution and self-development, or I'm just comfortable with being who I am and just running from relationship to relationship to relationship. So I think those are the major causes.
So you think lack of communication in marriage is a major cause? Because we are discussing, we have a lot of causes of divorce, right? But we are here to discuss major causes. Mm-hmm. So do you think lack of communication should be a major cause?
Or it is rather. And I think it can lead to so many other things. A lack of communication can lead to cheating. A lack of communication can lead to physical abuse, right? Mental abuse. Like, it can lead to so many different things. So it is definitely like top 3 for me. So top 3: lack of communication, cheating, and financial hardships.
So when you say financial what?
Hardships.
Okay, financial hardships. Okay, so you think that when something is going wrong financially, it can lead to divorce?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Money problems are a real thing. And not everyone who say I do, for better or worse, richer or poor, actually mean it, right? Because it's easy to verbally say things until you're actually in the marriage and you're having to navigate real issues on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
And I think especially now, we live in a society where there's just so much pressure on men, particularly in terms of like financials.
Yeah.
There's so much pressure on men to meet certain expectations. And if we want to be honest, a lot of us as women, the expectations that we had 5 years ago are probably totally different now. Part of it, which has a great deal to do with social media, right?
Yeah, right.
The idea of this picture perfect life.
Yes.
And so that puts a lot more pressure on men to satisfy those ideals. And so money problems are real in relationships, and not everybody know how to stick it out.
Christina, what do you think? What is your own take?
I think as human beings, it is important for us to move with integrity to navigate this world, relationships, dynamics, connections with integrity and honesty. And at the end of the day, that's what it boils down to. Like, who are you when nobody's looking?
But I just feel like humans in general is not naturally monogamous. Like, men like to claim that and say, oh, we can't help it. And then women go the other direction and say, well, we always want to be with one person, but women or men is not, I don't believe we're meant to be monogamous, but at the end of the day, marriage is a choice. As humans, we still have like instincts. I don't think it's human instinct to be monogamous. That's why people is cheating and like, but it's a choice not to look another direction when you're with your man or your lady. It's a choice to say, I'm gonna spend 30 years with this person and that's it. You can see other people, we have attraction to other people. Men are the only ones that like to claim that, but like women, we can see other men too and be like, okay, he's cute, or he have more money, but we're not gonna leave because that's our man.
Yeah.
It's a choice. If both parties can't make that choice, it will never work.
It's definitely a choice because one of the things that I like to say, when men talk about their weaknesses and the ability to exercise their options, it's like, if you have to take the initiative, right, to actually go pursue a woman, all I have to do is walk outside, right?
Yeah.
So if I have that level of discipline, why can't you? Because you actually have to do the pursuing. I don't have to do anything. I just have to exist.
Yeah.
But women pursue as well. The women pursue as well.
You say women pursue as well?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but
Women
when we talk about these things, we're talking about numbers, majority.
Yeah.
Does the majority of women pursue?
No, obviously men will.
Okay,
pursue.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
It's
just discipline.
Choice, though. Like, women will go after somebody in a relationship. Like, some men will go after women in a relationship. Like, it's both sides. But that's where it goes back to, like, there's people always coming after you and your partner. Like, waiting for y'all to be single. You both have to make the choice, like, I'm not folding for nobody. Like, it's just me and you.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's only one person thinking like that. Then the other person is like, I'm with you, but I'm with her and her and her and her. That's why it don't work out. We have to make conscious choices. This is my person and that's it.
No, when you say we have to make conscious decision, if you make that conscious decision and these factors, comes in, what are you gonna do? Are you still gonna be in that relationship or marriage and not get out because you made the decision that you still wanna be,
Yeah, it comes down to like what your deal breakers are for yourself, what your boundaries are. Yeah, what's really non-negotiable for you. So you could say, I'm stuck with my man, but like if he does this, then that's where I will have to part my way. So that it depends on. Some people don't have boundaries. Some people don't have things that would make them leave their person.
Yeah.
That's them. But me personally, there's certain things that I can't stand for. So yeah, I'm loyal, but then
Something like what?
cheating.
Okay.
But everything is cheating to me, so I just stay single because I'm not doing it. You like a picture that's cheating, so I will stay by myself.
So you're talking about cheating. So
Yeah.
if your man if there is any financial situation, you're not gonna leave. You're gonna still be in the marriage to figure it out.
No, I didn't say that, but that's a conversation that you have with your person at the same time.
Yeah.
Like they know you. I will tell you straight up, and I expect you to tell me straight up what's your negotiables, what's your non-negotiables.
Yeah.
That's what I like. Everything on the table.
Yeah.
The problems start when somebody left something on the table. They don't want to tell you something, or you don't want to tell them something. It's like nobody want to put everything on the table, and I think people are scared to tell somebody something because it's like she's not gonna fuck with me no more. He's not gonna fuck with me. But it's like 9 times out of 10, if you're honest, people might still continue being in your presence.
Yeah.
But keeping lies, it only prolongs the inevitable. You're gonna end up breaking up because you're a liar,
Yeah.
So that's how I
So Hazel, what do you think? What do you think is the major breakup, in marriages?
Has anybody ever been married?
I'm married.
You're married? Anyone of you married?
No, I was engaged.
You was engaged? I think that's as far as I've gotten, been engaged. And for me, I think my main thing is accountability.
Yeah.
I think people are going to cheat. Men are going to cheat. Women are going to cheat. But what makes a relationship stay together for 20 years, for 30 years?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for me, I think it's accountability. When a person cannot take accountability, it kind of blocks you from being able to correct yourself, correct your mistakes in order to move forward and know not to do it again. So that's...
So even when he cheats on you and, comes to be open to you that, I messed up, I'm sorry, I will do better.
Well, I have to ask myself within whatever situation, is that person worth me staying or going through that situation?
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. What I've learned is that this is good against evil. You're grown. You know right from wrong. Period.
Okay.
I would say there's a quote, allow people to be who they are, and then you choose where if you want them in your life. I feel like a lot of people are trying to fit their partner into these little boxes. Like, I want you to show up this way.
Yeah.
I want you to be this thing for me. They might not have the capacity nor desire to be that for you. And you're trying to get them to fit in that, and then you become unhappy, and that's when the cheating and all the things happen.
Yeah.
So I think just allow them to be them, and if it doesn't work for you,
Peace.
The House of Chidi is a very interesting experience. Lots of interesting opinions and perspectives. People think they're right, they're not. At the end of the day, craft your relationship the way you want to craft your relationship. Don't let Chidi or anybody else on this planet tell you how you need to do your thing, okay?
And that's why communication is so important, because if we're able to communicate from the genesis of the relationship, and I have a clear understanding of what I'm going to get from you, and you know exactly what you're going to get from me, then that can prevent all of that other stuff. Prior to us getting into it, we've decided exactly what our culture is going to be for the relationship, right? It's not about what's the standard that applies to everyone else, but you and I, what is going to be our culture? What works for us and what doesn't work for us?
and are we open to change as we get older? Like, are we open to seeing where this thing, maybe we want to adjust this part? People are just in self-preservation mode. How can I take care of me and my ego and my selfishness and not trying to work with the other person? So I think that's a good point, is pivoting, being open to communication, and if it's not working anymore, we don't have to force this.
Yeah.
We really don't.
Yeah, that's true. Compromise is important. I'm stubborn, so I just started getting this idea, okay, if I want to be, serious with somebody, I have to know compromise. It's necessary. Because I would just say my way or no way. I don't really care what you have going on.
Self-awareness.
But, I'm going to just say that's definitely necessary, because you have to keep in mind, how they feel about certain things.
Yeah.
Because I need you to keep in mind how I feel.
Yeah.
I'm going to let that know. But it's we both have to, have that balance, I feel like. Compromise is okay. I used to like not agree with compromise.
Yeah.
The guys are so quiet. Let's move on to
No,
the
no,
guys.
we want to hear from you guys first. You know why? Because, women first. Because women are the reason why, we have either progress or we have setbacks in marriage. Because they are the determinant factor, I have to be honest with you. Most of the, I'm not saying all of the breakups, but most of the breakups are decision made by women. Like they are the ones that say, okay, I don't want to be in this anymore because you messed up, I can't forgive you, or lack of communication, or there is no money anymore, or my expectations are not met, I'm walking away. So in most cases, women are the people who walk away, right? So
I don't like to hear that.
After suffering, right?
Where is the accountability in that? It's because
hold on.
That's all you hear men say. Women file the divorces.
After
Women are the ones.
We the ones that do the cutoff.
After suffering.
Why?
let me answer that.
Let me answer that.
No, I want to answer that. The reason I think women are the ones who are the front line, filing for divorces and stuff like that is because in the first place, women are not capable of loving. Women, listen, let me tell you. Women,
I'm interested.
I know you don't want to.
I'm interested.
I know you don't want to
We're
hear it.
nurturers by nature.
No, exactly.
How
listen.
capable of loving?
Women cannot love. It's pretty simple. Women, hold on. What you call love is feelings. Women cannot truly love because if women really and truly love, most of the premature breakups that we have in marriages, we will never have them.
That's not true.
That's not true.
Are you trying to say love unconditionally? Love through the
Exactly. That's what I'm
Suffer?
saying. No, not suffer. Listen.
Suffer?
Listen.
Through the BS?
That's what I'm saying.
Now, what I'm saying is,
Okay, that's preposterous.
no,
Okay, I've got a question.
no, hold on before you ask me the question.
Preposterous.
Because love is.
Dealing with the man.
He said yeah.
No, hold on, let me tell you something.
One second.
Let me say something.
One second.
And hold on, wait. I appreciate you for being honest, but that's why I say accountability. Because now you have the decision on whether or not you want to fuck with somebody like that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And in this particular situation, yeah, I'm getting the fuck on.
Yeah.
Cause in your mind you think that's okay, and in my mind that's not where I'm operating from.
That's majority of them.
And that's not okay.
I don't,
Well, if
I
you
don't
want to
think.
look at that, if you want to look at it that way, my love can be unconditional, but my presence isn't.
No.
Because the definition of marriage is unconditional love.
No.
That vow.
That's cool.
If you go through the vows and you actually pinpoint, like you said, like you read it, for better, for worse, for this, for that, it means unconditional.
Okay.
Life is
Exactly. That's my point. That is my point.
But would we be having this conversation though if those were the principles that you were really
That you
trying
were
to stand
actually
on?
exercising. Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Right? Because
Would we really be having this
if it's
conversation?
truly unconditional, I don't have to go with you.
I would not have to
First of
put
all,
up with it
life
like that.
life is not black and white.
Okay.
So whether you sit down and say you go to go to the altar or wherever you go get married to, and say I would love this person unconditionally, but things happen. Do you understand? Different things happen while you leave a marriage, because you're saying, or what he's saying, and this is me being blunt, that you're saying a woman should be there, right? And until she should take everything and die,
No,
regardless of
that's
whatever.
what I'm saying.
Because
No, that's
because
what I'm
wait,
saying.
let me land.
No.
But let me
You don't
land.
understand.
Because now,
Hold on, let me finish.
if someone is married to my sister, and goes and knocks her out, and you think I will sit down and allow that nonsense happen and tell my sister, you know what, you said
Love
for
is
better,
unconditional.
you
You better take that
and for
shit.
worse, stay in the marriage. Like what shit is that? What kind of nonsense is that?
What if your sister was the one that knocked the nigga out?
Yeah, then he should leave. He should leave. Then he should leave too,
Just saying
though.
that
He should leave.
That's what he's saying. He's saying love is supposed to be unconditional. And I just
There's
went
nothing
with
like
the fact
that, man.
Yeah, I get it.
That's not unconditional though.
But
Yeah, because there's conditions already. There's conditions already.
My definition of unconditional love.
Hold on, let
And
me.
all he said was, if you guys can do unconditional, they can be. And I said, so if you guys say you can't do the unconditional love, why do you guys jump into marriage? Because the definition of marriage is unconditional.
What I learned from House of Chidi today is respect for people's opinions. You don't have to agree with everything everyone is saying. Just respect people's opinions. I feel like I always have controversial opinions, and I want my opinions respected. So I think I tried my best to respect everybody's opinions today. There's some opinions that were difficult to respect, but I tried my best to respect people's opinion. That's what I learned today.
The definition of marriage is not that.
Yeah,
I believe
that's
you
not.
can craft your own. I believe marriage is partnership. Marriage is a contract. Marriage is something
Exactly.
that you can just
It's a contract.
for yourself.
It's a contract.
No, those vows is what makes those vows is what marriage is all about. Yeah.
It's not marriage. No, those are commitments.
You said,
Right.
do you want
Vow is
to?
a
Oh,
vow.
you said you're gonna write your own
You
vow.
said you can't. I said you can't.
No,
You
no.
can choose what commitments you want for
Hold
your
on.
purpose.
Do you believe?
Is it the sacrament
Do you
of
believe in
holy
God?
matrimony?
Do you believe in
One
God?
way. It's unconditional.
All right.
So if you want to jump into that,
Yes.
you make sure that's what you're ready for.
I don't.
Coming from the married women, we created what works for
Okay.
our
Hey,
partnership.
read about
Let
it.
me
Read
ask
about the
you-
sacrament of holy matrimony.
Hold on. Hold on.
I don't give a
ask you
damn.
something. Let me
If
ask
it's
you
causing me to be unhappy, I don't give a
I have the
damn.
love for myself, the unconditional love for myself.
Right? Oh, that don't matter. That does not matter.
Okay. Hold on.
I said, if you guys think you can't do unconditional, why jump into marriage? That's all I said.
Okay. Hold on. Let me land. Let me say
That's
something.
not
No. Let
unconditional.
me.
Nuance.
Josie.
In everything in life, there's nuance.
Josie. Hold on. Let me say something. Now.
I was just going with the fact. I was going with the flow with when he said, what if somebody made a mistake? That he has a situation where he made a mistake and they use it against him for the rest of his relationship.
Yeah.
You said he shouldn't be there or he shouldn't be with a woman or something. I said, okay, what if it was the other way around? I said, because men, when women make mistakes, men are prone to just let it go. Like a lot of men would just let it go, except it comes to cheating. Because men hardly let cheating go.
Yeah.
But if it's another kind of mistake, any man will let it go.
Okay. Because let me ask you, why do you think that men don't let cheating go more than women? What do you think?
Because men consider women a prize.
Okay.
A prize. They look at this as my queen. If
Yeah.
anybody can assess this, I don't want it.
Yeah. And what about you? You are the king. If anybody can assess you, she doesn't want it. What do you
But
think
it
about
just
that?
comes back to the fact where everybody says this, and nobody will agree with it. That okay, what a man can do, a woman can't do. Everybody has different ways that it suits them.
Yeah.
Like women would say, why is it okay for a man to have two girls or talk to two women? It's just like I could say, why is it okay for me to just walk in the store and pay for a girl's food and expect nothing?
Yeah.
I can't walk in the store and come up with a bag.
Yeah.
A woman can.
Yeah.
So everybody has something they can do.
Yeah.
So if a man decides that, okay, if I did this kind gesture, she gives me something and it happens, fuck it, it happened.
So do you think women cheat
Women cheat with
for a reason?
Yeah, they cheat with intentions.
With intentions, right?
Men don't think. Men just do it.
We just want to play games.
They just do it.
Yeah,
And
they just do
they
it.
regret it. They might not even want to be with the person.
Yeah, that's true. But women, once they cross that line,
They want to.
They want to, right?
A woman is intentional. If she do it, because they can hold themselves very well.
Yeah.
A woman can go a year without doing anything. But
That's
she
why I
wants to do
respect
what
them
she
so
do.
much.
So everybody's built different.
Yeah, when it comes to, like what you
When it comes
said.
to that, a man is built different, a woman is built different.
Exactly. When it comes to cheating, I think women are more faithful than
women are
men
more
because
faithful.
this is your nature. Like women don't just mess up. You know what I'm saying? Most women that mess up, most of them, I'm not saying all, but most of them that mess up are pushed, and when they cheat because your partner cheated or your partner messed up is, they do that for a reason. They don't just fall for anybody. Just like what you said.
You know the thing with me?
That's why a man looks at the woman as the queen.
No.
Yeah.
Because they know a woman can go without doing that. So if she does it,
Yeah.
I don't
Josie.
like to require anything that I can't provide myself. If I can provide loyalty, honesty, I require the exact same.
And I don't believe it's a man-woman thing. I
It's
believe it's
not.
integrity and a lack of
Absolutely.
integrity. That's it.
Okay.
It's that
Exactly.
simple.
Yeah.
It's as
It's
simple
that
as that.
simple.
Yes, integrity.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
that simple.
Because that's what I be
It's
wanting
not
to
a
know.
man,
Like, where
woman
the fuck
thing.
is your
I think
integrity?
if
Exactly.
God shows us, if God shows us the amount of people who are cheating, you'll be very shocked that the numbers is between a man and a woman is not that
It's
is
integrity
even.
or lack of
Yeah, exactly.
integrity, that's it.
You'll be very, very shocked. that is very even.
You think
I-
men
But we
sure?
see that
They don't.
I 100% believe, and you might be. It's my opinion, Jonathan. It's
But I
my
do believe
opinion.
it's more
You don't have to.
acceptable
You don't have
for
to
a
agree with
man.
my
It's always
opinion.
easy to
But
say all these things, but when it comes to real life
Bro,
stuff,
it's-
really look at yourself and
That to me
say,
is
this
real
thing I'm
life.
saying, this is what
Can I
I'm doing.
finish?
Hold on.
Yeah,
You go back.
absolutely.
Okay, it's my opinion.
Yeah.
And my opinion is that human beings in general, like what you were saying, I agree very well with what you were saying. Human beings were not built, to stay with one person. We choose to do it sometimes, But there are actually people who I believe should not actually go into marriage.
Even
You should not even
Yes.
be. You should just be real
Yes.
to yourself.
Yes.
That you know what, I cannot be with one person.
Yes.
Right? And
Yes.
You never said she, you said men.
No, she said.
said
no,
for herself what
she
she
said everybody.
No, I said both. I
She
said
said
nobody's
both.
meant to be
She
monogamous.
said
Exactly.
human
She
beings,
said
yeah.
human beings in general.
And then at the
She didn't
end
say
of the day,
women.
it's a choice.
Exactly. She said everyone. And I don't believe that we can sit down here and say, oh, men cheat, women don't cheat, or women do this, or men. No. I feel women know how to cheat better than men.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Women can,
We are
a
reckless.
woman can come here now and sleep with me, and come and sleep with my cousin, and she will keep a straight face.
Cousin is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it happens. I'll keep a straight face, and I will never know. But if I walk into a room that he has pushed up to you, and I come in, he will probably see it in my face that there's chemistry between two of us, because men just don't know how to hide certain things. So it's easier for a woman, or it's easier for a society to find a man who is cheating than a woman who's cheating. But I believe it so wholeheartedly that if God shows us just for one day what every one of us
Like
is
second.
thinking.
A second.
Yeah, a second. This whole world will be anarchy.
Yes.
It's like serious anarchy. Marriages will be broken. Like everything from both ways, from women, from men. If God really shows us what your wife is thinking, what your husband is thinking, your
Now,
world will be
there is something
crazy.
I want us to talk more about, like this love of a thing. I love you. I love you. I love you. Do we really know what love is all about? Because the question is, like you said, or somebody said, I don't know who said that love is not unconditional. And I say the love that I know is unconditional.
Or rather, it is, but my presence doesn't have
Hold
to be
on.
unconditional.
Is unconditional in the sense that I'm not saying you should go on a spree and keep doing, fucked up things that you're doing. No, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is this: if your partner ever messes up the first time, maybe he cheats for the first time.
What if she cheats?
Hold on. No, I'm gonna come to that. He cheats for the first time, and just like you said, comes and lay everything down, lay the cards down on the table, and apologize, and he wants to be a better person, and you see him becoming a better person, and just like Fabian said, are you gonna torment him the rest of his life because of his past mistakes? Because love is forgiveness.
Would
Yeah.
you,
You
if
have
your
to-
wife that you bought like $1,000 ring for went and laid down with another man and cheated on you, told you, put everything on the table.
Yeah.
I did this with him. It was him. This is how long it was. We did this, that, and the third. You gonna be like, you know what? Love is unconditional. I bought this ring for you.
I will
made a
forgive you.
vow.
I will
love
forgive you.
Okay. Even
Someone
if it's your
mentioned
brother.
deal breaker.
Yeah, I will.
Oh, so
So she does it again.
you've
Okay, so
evolved.
after that, yeah.
You've evolved because
Okay,
we had
do you
this
know-
conversation before. You said you would not forgive.
No, I will forgive.
Oh,
Forgive.
okay.
No, we're talking about forgiveness. I will forgive.
But would
Would you stay?
I will not stay. I will forgive, but I will not stay. Do you know why? As a lady, you have to be mindful of the fact that you are not on the same level. You are not on the same pedestal with men when it comes to cheating. Because if my lady cheats, I will forgive her, but I will let her go. The reason is because she is everything to me.
I feel like what people do, because I don't feel like it's a woman or a man thing. I feel like this is something that people do.
Yeah.
You just get better at it.
Yeah,
In my opinion.
yeah.
So
I don't
I
think anyone's a one-time cheater. I have not seen them be a one-time. And I'm a
And once a cheater, always a
People
cheater.
One time
know
cut.
once a cheater,
You
I'm
caught it
not
one
doing
time.
it.
No, one time. You caught it one time. You caught it one time.
For me, I feel like one time I was in a relationship before, and then I had me and my lady, whatever, But it wasn't like I cheated or anything.
Yeah.
She was just judging me based on my past. That people were saying, "Oh, he's this, he's that, he's that." Boom, 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 boom. And every time we get to an argument, "Oh, I heard you was doing this before." I'm like, "What? But am I doing it now?"
All women do
I
that.
think that's
All
insecurities.
Yeah, that's high insecurity.
That's
and I don't think every woman is like that.
No, 90% of women do
No,
that.
but I wasn't.
90%.
To be honest.
All these judgments, man.
Yeah, it has to be something. There's a action and there's a reaction. Then there's a reaction to an action.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it had to be something that person have seen in order for her to feel like, oh, well, you did this, or I saw you do that, or you have to.
But it might be her
I feel
own
like you have to
insecurities.
give a woman a reason to
No,
feel like
but
she
it might be
needs to
her
bring
too.
that up.
It might be her as well.
It could
She
be,
might
like
be
I said,
projecting.
it's insecurities or
Yeah.
something, or it could be projecting
Yeah, she's
because she's
projecting
sitting
her
up
fears.
doing something that she ain't got no business doing. I've experienced that as well,
Exactly.
so I'm not against that. But yeah,
Okay, so I want to ask you something. Going to the point of like, you guys just don't understand how a man processes it when a woman cheats or whatever, right? Because you view us as
queens.
these
Let's
pure.
go.
Then you wouldn't do that to me.
First of all, I don't believe in that. So
Hold on. She's saying something.
You view us with a level of like purity,
Yeah.
right? You pedestalize us.
Yeah, exactly.
But do you understand that through your actions, right, the effect of your actions a lot of times will bring us down from that pedestal, because now there's a certain level of damage that you've caused.
Right.
Definitely.
You're taking away from my purity,
Yeah.
because I have to process that hurt and that pain, and there's going to be an effect to that.
And I want to piggyback off that too.
Yeah.
A lot of times, men want us to continue to pour love into something.
Yeah.
But you can't pour love into something that you've damaged.
Yeah, I'm not going to be that same person. I will not be the same woman that I was prior to that heartbreak.
There is no relationship after you cheating on somebody. There is no relationship after that. Even if you guys stay together 30 years after that, there's no relationship there.
So really, you're cheating yourself.
So what that means is there is
You're
no forgiveness.
cheating yourself of the woman that I once was
Hold on.
to you.
So what that means is there is no love. There is no forgiveness.
It depends on how you define love and forgiveness.
Oh,
And someone here mentioned deal breakers. You have to know what's a deal breaker
No,
for you.
somebody said she's gonna write her own vows. Is that you?
I said, yeah, you can
But
create your own
everybody
house how you want it to be. Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
Cheats on me, that's it. That's
What's
a wrap.
wrong with
It's
creating
not-
your own
That's
house?
your non-negotiable.
We're not having
So, right,
conversation.
that's
It's not,
your
it's not a
non-negotiable.
conversation because you know why? I'm a proper African man, and when your woman cheats on you, it affects you as a man.
Okay, but would you expect
So
that
how
vice
does it
versa
affect
though?
her?
No, you cannot. That's the point. The point is
It's not a
this.
conversation.
Listen.
Like, we're not
Listen,
gonna
listen.
talk about
It's
it.
a non-negotiable
and that's
for
fine,
him, but
not
for
in
her.
reverse.
And
No,
that's
listen.
But for me, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I
it's
understand.
non-negotiable.
You will not understand what I'm talking about because
You know what I think it is? You know
don't
what
got
I've really been thinking about this for a while.
Yeah.
The way men are conditioned when they come onto this earth,
Yeah.
why would you change from the way society tells you you're supposed to be? I feel like you gotta be a real man to say, I'm gonna step out of the way society grew me, because from a young age, boys can see either their father cheating, their uncle's cheating, their father got 2-3 wives, on movies, TV, multiple women. You guys are groomed from an early age to literally be non-monogamous and to cheat people and to lie.
Yeah.
So it's like for a real man, he have to be in his real mental and not what you guys think is logic, which you're trying to be logical, but you're really not. It's like you guys try to be so logical, but a real man steps out of society's view of what men should be and society's grooming, because it really is grooming from a young age. And why would a man step out of that if it's benefiting him? Just like how white people will never step out of their privilege because it benefits them. If a man can move like that and the world will still say, you know, he's just a man, why would he stop being a man?
Yeah.
You know, and if it's a woman point of view, you're not a real woman if you cheated. You're a slut if you step out, because as you said, oh, women are precious. Women don't cheat for no reason. What if she just want to get her rocks off and you're not doing it right for her?
Exactly.
Now you think like women are just like men. We all are human.
Why you trying to get your rocks off for?
But why you gotta get your rocks
I
off?
don't understand.
You're taking a rocks off. It could be anything.
You know,
I'm just saying. Like,
She's talking about
I'm just
society.
saying.
Society
Yeah, he's talking about
And then
sex.
it's
made women
you gotta
to
Because the
to
way you
make everything
provided,
financial.
the way you said it was like, okay, men just cheat because we don't even want her. We just wanted to kick our rocks off, literally. But a woman got to cheat because she love him and she have feelings for him. Not true.
Exactly.
Not true. We're human. We're
Exactly.
not monogamous. That's what I believe. Stop it. Let's just be real. You know, I be wanting to have a real conversation with men. Let's just be real. You guys want to keep this because it benefits you.
Right.
It's easy for you to say a woman can't cheat on me, I'll leave. But she got to stay if I cheat. Because it benefits you. And I see that and it's great for you.
Yeah.
But it's not real.
Yeah.
And it's like, to be a real man, you got to step out of that and say, what's real for me? Where's my integrity? Like, women aside, society aside, what my bros will say about me. Oh, you so cool because you got a wife and you got a girlfriend. No, like, men care more about the image.
Yeah.
There's no integrity at all, and I don't like that.
So I don't cheat. The reason I don't cheat is because
Anymore.
No, hold on. No, it's a personal thing. It's a personal decision. Because I have grown to a certain level, knowing that cheating doesn't have anything to do with my woman. I don't cheat because I love my woman. That's not the reason why I cheat.
Yeah.
I don't cheat because I love myself. I don't want to mess up out there. You know, I have this powerful relationship with myself, which is so spiritual. Very, very spiritual. So it's a personal decision on my own. Like, I will never cheat because I have grown above that level. Right? So we are not talking about, I have discovered who I am. I am precious too. I am God. So a God doesn't go about cheating. You know, a king doesn't go about cheating. That's the way I see myself. You know, I am the temple of God, right? So I don't want to do that. It's a personal thing. I have grown to that level. Now, if I found somebody I want to get into marriage with, I have to attract that kind of person too. Because marriage, we look at those factors that you mentioned, but we don't talk about attraction. What about attraction? You know, like, you attract to, you know, who you are. Your partner is your reflection. If your partner is cheating, there is something that attracted you to your partner that makes you to be in that marriage. I'm telling you, that's the truth. If you think that your partner is cheating, then look at yourself. You didn't choose well. I mean, there are things and factors that you looked upon based on that you judge, and then you get married.
It depends. If they was cheating before the marriage, then that's on you. If they were cheated after and you stayed, then it's on you. If it was the first time you left, okay.
Like somebody like me now, I think there is 70% chances that I cannot mess up if I want to choose my partner, because I'm gonna try to who I am. Because if you come with your vibe, it's gonna spiritually, you know, either resonate with me or, you know, throw me off balance that something is wrong. Because I know how to connect. So people attract their personalities. You know, it may be because he's so handsome, he has money, because it's not love. We don't get into marriage because of love. I don't think so. Nobody gets, because just like Cross said, they don't know what love is all about. Love is unconditional. Love is what God gave us.
Love is unconditional, but my presence is not.
I'm getting cheated. Do I think men are what? Are more uncomfortable? Accountable? Oh, hell to the no. You know that. He know that. No, I do not think that men are more accountable than women. So
do you think, let me ask you, do you think, okay, you're married, right? Mm-hmm. And your husband is not perfect, right?
No.
He's not.
Nobody is.
Yeah, and there are lots of times that he does something, let's forget about cheating now. He does something that you don't like, that gets you crazy and mad. And how did you settle that? How did you come to, you know, a compromise? Like, okay, I forgive you, don't do this, accountability, let's move on.
We're both very logical people.
Yes.
So we're both able to come to a situation
Exactly.
level-headed.
Yeah.
But that's just us because we're both that way.
Yeah.
I've been in situations where that wasn't the case, where people are hot-headed. We're both very logical. If something goes down, we can come to the situation, have a conversation, and life goes on. But it's never gotten to an extreme, we've never yelled at each other, never cussed each other out. It's never gotten that.
How long have you guys been married?
3 years.
Okay, cool. So Josie, do you think you're ready to marry now? Like, spiritually, like emotionally ready to marry? Like, you know what marriage is all about and you are ready to delve into it?
Yes, I am. I am, because I've done a lot of self-work.
Yeah.
I prioritize self-development.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So if he cheats on you for the first time, are you gonna forgive him?
What?
No.
That is like your
This is
favorite
important
question.
to me. This is important to me. Are you gonna forgive because you love him and then give him another chance? If he says, or he's accountable for what he did, and he says he's sorry and, you know, ready to change, and you see him changing and then everything's moving on fine, are you going to actually...
That is a non-negotiable for me in marriage.
In marriage, cheating?
Yeah.
Okay.
And for me, I married a man with integrity.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because once you do that, the union is broken,
Yeah.
and it will never be the same.
Yeah.
So it boils
Right.
down to trust then.
What
Yeah.
did you say?
Yeah.
Trust.
trust, okay.
Trust. Well, I trust people to be themselves.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. I trust people to be themselves.
So-
but again, that word, integrity,
Yeah.
is so heavy. It's so heavy.
Yeah.
Because the man that I choose to marry, or who chooses me and I accept or whatever, like, I view you as a man of integrity. Otherwise, I'm not doing it. I could have been married a long time ago.
Yeah.
Right? So I am not wavering on that. Integrity is so important. And I actually, recently I had a conversation with an ex. He always tells me that he had never thought about marriage until he met me. And that because of me, he wanted to change and become a better man. And that's great. That's wonderful and all.
Yeah.
But I don't want you to change for me. I want you to be the motivation for your change. Because you know what's going to happen?
Yeah.
The minute you decide that you're changing for me, the minute that the relationship is no longer going in the way that you desire, you no longer have the motivation to continue on that upward trajectory.
Yeah. That's true.
So I don't want you to do it for me. I want you to do it because you've decided you see value
Yeah.
in becoming a better man, a greater man, to align with your purpose in God.
Yeah.
Do it for yourself, don't do it for me.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
But you know what? I don't think it's a good person, bad person conversation. I don't think you're a bad person because you cheat.
Yeah.
I don't feel like nobody's a good person or a bad person.
Okay.
I feel like everything is so neutral. So when men say, I'm going to become a better person, it's really like a narcissistic kind of comment to make because you knew what you was doing. It's not like, I can't help it. Like, no. And you have to be the person for yourself to say, I want to change for me. Not because my woman's upset. And I want to
Exactly.
make a point and
Yeah.
show her that I'm loyal. It's not real.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you don't have those levels of standard for yourself and you can say, I'm a king, I'm touched, I'm priceless, nobody can get really next to me, like not everybody get in my pants, that's what makes you like a king.
Yeah.
If everybody has access to you, then you're nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and a lot of men have low self-value and they disguise it as like, in the way they show it in the way they treat women. They have low self-value, they show it in the way that they treat women. So then the woman is left for like all those feelings that man had for himself.
Yeah.
Of feeling low and worthless, meanwhile we the queens. You understand?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like a man has to have a standard for himself before he look into a woman's face and say, I want to be with you. Point blank.
And the woman too has to look.
Yeah, but more times out of 10, let's be real, the women already have that mindset. Like, we come into this thing with intention. And I'm not saying men don't do that.
Yeah.
Because a man has to. Because he has to be, like, putting in.
Yeah.
So that's intention right there.
Yeah.
You already know to court a woman you're putting in. So it's like we both have to have that intention that we want to be together, but we both have to have something about ourselves first. Like, let's start there. You know?
Yeah, but what I'm the most important thing to me about this conversation is based on, first time trial and forgiveness. First time offense and forgiveness. Even in the court of law, they will ask you, is this your
What is
first
get a
time?
one in ticket?
Yeah, what is it? Exactly. Yeah, so I feel like women should.
You know why that's dangerous?
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
Why you
So
say
there's this woman, right? She's married or was married. And prior to the marriage, her and her husband, they had that exact conversation. He told her, I'll give you one pass, right? You have, if you cheat once during the marriage for one time, I will forgive you. She took that as a ticket to cheat.
But
She
we don't have to
cheated.
express that.
She cheated.
Yeah.
She cheated.
Yeah.
And then it was so heavy on her conscience that she decided to confess. So she told her husband, everything that she did.
Yeah.
And he immediately told her, I want a divorce. And she was like, wait. You told me before we even got married, you told me that I had one opportunity, one chance, one pass.
Yeah.
What is it?
And he
Was it
said-
one time?
One
not
time.
cheat with the guy for 2 years.
Right, one time. And
time.
she only did it one time.
Yeah.
Well, she spoke to the guy for
Do you know why?
And it was actually a trap.
Do you know why?
Because we had that conversation,
Yeah.
you literally took that and ran with it.
No, listen.
Knowing-
Anybody can say anything. Anybody can open their mouth and say anything. But when it happens, that's when you're gonna find
gotta
out.
be
that-
true to yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
They can say anything.
You sound like if the woman said, "Oh, she was pumping him for a minute," and they build it like a relationship. It's worse because you say women have an emotional connection to the person they're cheating with. That's what you're saying, right? So like,
That's- I have a
okay,
question for you.
what if she said, "Nah, I just met him this night. I just linked him and I fucked him and that was it."
That make it even worse to me.
Before we round up, I have a question for you.
You would have no respect for her after that. Even if she was in a relationship with the guy she cheated on you with, or if she met him that night.
During the period, a man just not gonna have no
is gone,
respect.
and you gotta admit that. I really want men to just say it. Like,
What's your question?
just say it.
African women here in the States or Western world, do you think African women in Africa are more loyal, committed, respectful, and stays in marriage more than the
You
Western?
wanna say
Hold
something.
on. More than the Western.
You want to say something.
Before I answer your question, there's something I know to say about marriage first, then I'll answer
We
your
don't have
question.
much time.
I know.
Yeah.
Very quickly, I feel like marriage is like what you were talking about. You guys, you make your own vow. I believe marriage too. You make your own marriage how you want to make your marriage. For example, you can be in a marriage and you guys can be in an open relationship, right?
Yeah.
And decide that you want to have multiple partners. And you guys are grown enough to say, you know what, that's not going to affect me. So I feel like we're just here talking about standards and traditional marriage.
Yeah.
But this world has evolved to levels where people are open, people have threesomes in their marriages, people do different things and keep their relationship spicy to a level where they stay together for
But that's not marriage.
20, that's your definition.
That's
Different
your
definition.
So it's a different
That's why in the
definition.
beginning I say you build your own
Yeah,
culture.
exactly. So to your question, I don't think women in Nigeria or Africa,
yeah.
stay in marriages than African American women or American women.
Yeah.
I think human beings in general, at this stage where we are right now, is a social media culture where everybody feels I can get better. So even in Nigeria, even in Africa, women are looking and seeing, oh, you know what? This guy has this Van Cleef. That face not wearing nothing.
Okay, what about you?
I will move to this guy. That man, oh, look at his chain. I'm going to move to him. Do you understand? So I feel like that happens in Africa as well and happens here. And
Happens
if you flip,
everywhere.
exactly, if you flip it as well.
But you can compare the divorce and
Oh, it's not true.
So House of Chidi is a place of, minds meeting where people come to share their views, opinion, perspective about different spheres and aspects of life. And, especially, what we talked about, relationship. The ladies, they are incredible. They are superb in their contribution towards the topic we talked about. That has to do with divorce. We don't have to agree on everything, but the most important thing is women cheating is different from men cheating. As a lady, you have to be mindful of the fact that you are not on the same level. You are not on the same pedestal with men when it comes to cheating. Because if my lady cheats, I will forgive her, but I will let her go. The reason is because she is everything to me. She has sold my rights and my dignity and my everything out there. But when a man cheats, we cheat for no reason. We just want to play games. We cheat for no reason. We just want to have fun. But these women, when they cheat with emotion. That's the truth. But people don't want to, kind of conceive and admit that. And, that's the problem I have with the ladies. But that's okay. That's okay.
I'm sorry. Cut. Because I don't approve of this.
Because if a woman had that energy, what would we be called? Thoughts, hoe. You know what I'm saying? So why do you think that's okay? It's not okay.
At the end of the day, he has said that men are a whole bunch of nothing. We're a prize, so that's why it's a big deal when we cheat.
No, I love
men
that.
are a whole bunch of nothing. So when they cheat,
we are.
yes, that's what he's saying.
Yeah, that's true. But what I'm saying is, as a woman, please, try as much as you can to keep yourself, because you are just the man's prize. You are priceless. You are our dignity.
And so
I don't know how to.
This priceless queen should accept trash.